What's going on? Play Gaming here, back with another Epic 7 video. And today we're going over Aria and we're testing her out in regular arena and RTA. So we do have her built on a Lifesteal offset. So if you got a chance to check out my previous video on her summons, we got pretty lucky. We were able to get some imprints and we were able to scrounge together some gear, some Lifesteal gear. Luckily, we didn't have to strip our Lionheart's Armia to throw some defense stats on her, but she does scale off of defense. She's like 95 crit, 290 crit damage, almost 13k HP and about 2k defense, 180-ish speed. And in arena, I think she's okay. She did fairly well against most of the current meta team comps. Of course, we did get destroyed by Rimuru or Para, but I think if you are trying to bring her in, you're going to want a lot of support. In this first fight, you'll notice we do have Para, and it's Protect the Queen comp in this one. So we're relying on our Aria to do damage. And as you can see, once she eventually goes with her S3, there's nothing the enemy team can do but target her, which is actually pretty neat because it guarantees that she's going to get some counters in, and then you'll be able to put in some damage. Now, keep in mind that this build is on a 0 Mola build, and you know, she did still kind of hit okay. As you saw there, almost 4k with 0 molas. She does have a lot of investment that you're going to need to do if you really want to go all in, especially on her S1. She does have a 40% chance to decrease hit chance for 1 turn. It goes up to, I believe, 50% chance. And you'll see that there were a couple of instances where that did help mitigate some of the damage coming her way. So I think that if we were to skill up her S1, that would help along with the damage that we're getting from her S1. I believe there's a lot of damage that you're going to need from the S1 if you are going to max that out. But Protect the Queen in this one was kind of okay. We were trying to keep her as alive as much as possible, getting the extra proc. So going counter, as you can see, we just blow them up. Again, 0 molas, blow them up. Once we get that extra attack, I would say her built-in S3, because it has an S3 animation, right? But for the most part, she was putting in work in regular arena. Of course, she does need a lot of support, cleansers, and you ideally want someone that can strip on your end. You want some strips, you want some cleanses, because she is very susceptible to strips, provokes, unbuffables, unhealables. We have her on Lifesteal set again, so landing an unhealable on her is kind of GG, right? We want her to be able to Lifesteal back, even though you might kind of think, well, isn't Lifesteal counterintuitive to her kit? Because she does increase her crit damage based on how much HP she's lost. So, and the thing is, if she's not going first, she's probably going to be low HP to start off. And you can see here, we do go against this Rimuru. We're still able to clutch out because of the AOL, Conquer Lilias, and Para, right? We bring in all the broken units. You got to bring in all the broken units to make her work. That's the way things are, unfortunately. But getting those counters does feel good, especially when you proc into that extra attack. It kind of feels like a Milim, or, you know, one of those units that like procs into their extra attack. You know, we recently got the GG collabs, and you know, some of the units in the past were pretty broken, and then I think right now, you know, with Aria, I don't know, in RTA, she did somewhat okay. I think this all of these RTA matches are more of like a para showcase because our Aria really didn't do too much. We try to bring her into the same type of team comp. I haven't seen anyone just build a team to protect the queen in RTA with her. It was very, very difficult to play that style, especially because she just got debuffed. I think that if we had the gear to make it work, putting F-Res on her could really, really throw the opponent off and just ensure that she's going to get a turn, because more than likely she's not going to go first unless you build her on maybe speed set. I think you could potentially get her to like 250 speed. Maybe if we would have brought in our hand guy for a couple of these matches, you'll see we are bringing in our troublemaker Crozet to give her some mitigation and to cleanse on the S3. We finally got that one going, and you know, for the most part, her damage was okay. I think that if, like I mentioned before, if we would have had Molas, you know, some of these matches might not have been as close, but for sure it was very, very difficult to run her. You know, for the most part, we tried forcing her. She would either get banned or she would kind of do nothing because she would just get controlled. Like you see here, we just got stunned by that Ada, and it was almost GG, but the good thing is we had Violet. So that's one of those things. The Aria really did nothing on that one. In this one, we're able to go first, but I think we misplay by S2ing. I think we could have S3'd here. But we still run the risk of getting reset by that designer a little bit. We're not on immunity, so there is a chance. However, we do have Bastion, and we have a small imprint on our hand guy that gives us resistance. So we're able to resist that. We eventually are able to use our S3, and that's the thing. Because she is 180 speed, she would either do nothing or just take forever to S3, and by the time she S3s, the opposing team already went ham on us, right? So it's playing turn 2, maybe like turn 4, I think, if we continue to run her at the 180-ish speed. I think, like I mentioned, putting some F-Res on her could be useful, but I think we might sacrifice a lot of damage. You see here, she is able to lifesteal a good amount, so she's still able to take advantage of that increased crit damage because she's not at 100% HP. We're providing some mitigation with the barriers, and then we're able to deal some decent damage. You'll see here, we do about 4K on the S1. If you soul burn, you do get an extra turn. We're able to take out the Conquer Lilies here, but then she does have this weird turn where she has nothing. She has no buffs, no barriers, no kind of damage mitigation outside of whatever other support unit that you bring in. So it is a bit tough trying to run her. You'll see in this one, we just get insta-clapped. We took a chance. This one is a random enemy. So the Celine is on a random, goes into stealth, hits a random unit. And we were trying to win. We were trying to win the 1 out of the 4 chances of her not hitting our Aria. But you know how things are, you know how things play out. Of course, she goes into the Aria and it's pretty much GG after that. There's no way we can survive because she's not going to get her S3 off in time in order for her to start lifestealing. I think if she had maybe a lifesteal built into her kit, we could build her counter so that way we can try to take advantage of that lifesteal even before she S3s, but it is tough. Here in this one, we do bring her against the other unit that I feel that she's kind of similar to. We're bringing her against ADS or Archdemon Shadow, but this one I think allows our carrot to shine because the opposing team kept focusing on the Aria. We do have Hand Guy for the cleanses, and then we do have Para for the strips into the mitigation, right? We don't have Night, but we do have some mitigation here. And the good thing is they have to focus because everybody's stealthed, right? They have to focus on the Aria and target her. It does feel really good when they have no other choice but to hit her because you know it's a guaranteed counter. And then you're able to proc into that extra attack, which is really, really nice. And then just kind of push them back. Deal pretty decent damage, and like I said, push them back with that combat readiness push. But for the most part, should you be pulling for this unit? You know, honestly, I think she's very niche, and it takes a lot to run her, a lot of gear, she's very stat hungry, even though she does have that built-in crit, right, from her passive. She's still going to need really good gear, and she's not a unit that you can just plug into any team comp. We tried to first pick her a lot, so we did lose a lot. We tried to force her in a lot of team comps. My playstyle is more bruisery, so that's why you see this carrot in here. You'll see hand guy, and then you'll see often para. Our para is only like 290, 295 speed, so not insane speed. She is on the slightly tankier end, like 14k HP, maybe 1.3k defense. But she's there for the mitigation and the barriers. We're able to clutch this match out more because of the carrot was landing the burns on the Archdemon Shadow, on the Apocalypse Ravi. And that's really what got us the kill. I think we could have had any other unit in the spot of Aria, and we would have been completely fine, or even better, honestly. And this one, we're getting cleaved. It's like a weird spez cleave. I was kind of excited to play this because you never see spez, right? You never see spez. You know, we get outsped, that's fine. You know, coming back, we're able to cleanse that off because our Emilia is on some pretty good effect res. We recently rebuilt her, threw Bastion on her, and she actually puts in a lot of work. You know, this one was a bit tough, but the good thing about Aria is she is just tanky, right? She is pretty tanky. Even though we don't have a lot of HP, she gives herself defense buff. She already has a lot of defense. And then you're adding on top of that the vigor buff that we're getting, so even more survivability. You'll see we could start getting some counters here, even though we are blinded. So again, she is susceptible to control. That blind does really hurt, but since we are running Fairy Tale for a Nightmare on her, you'll see that we get those extra attacks. And again, 0 molas on the S1, hitting pretty good on the S1 double hit, right? So we get like a free hit in there. You'll see this this RB gab on us, but I mean, it's pretty much GG. He's not going to be able to take out the Aria or the Emilia that's stealthed in a barrier. And then the counter actually feels really, really nice. But here we go. Here is Aria. Here are stats: 2k defense, almost 13k HP, 185 speed, 95 crit, 290 crit damage, and then the effectiveness and effect res. These are just built into her awakenings. As I mentioned, 0 molas, so no molas at all. You know, I honestly think that her damage is okay. Even on no molas, her damage is pretty good. I think that her getting that defense, increased defense buff does help with the damage. You are getting a lot of survivability to the entire team, that mitigation from AoE attacks with that stealth. But you know, we could get her to 100% crit if we gave her some mola here in the S2 for sure. You know, if we were to go hard into Aria, we would go straight into the S1, get as much damage as possible just to make sure that we put a lot of pressure on the enemy team. You saw some of those fights. She hit for like maybe 3.54k. I think the max that she did was like 12k, 12.5k, and that's on her extra attack that she gets, right? Whenever she consumes all of her focus. So her getting hit early on is fine, but you'll notice she is not on immunity, so that's why we had to bring cleansers. But why put immunity when she's just going to get stripped anyway, right? But let me know your thoughts. Aria, are you still going to be pulling for her? I know a lot of people are passing. You know, honestly, I think that's probably the best thing. She isn't that great. She isn't a must pull. Also, she isn't a must triple S either. I don't think so. We did get lucky on 1 pity's worth of summons. We were able to pick up 3 copies of her. You know, that defense does put us above the 2k, which is actually pretty nice. But let me know your thoughts. Are you still going to pull for her? What do you think about her in RTA Arena? Let me know in the comment section below. Like always, if you haven't enjoyed the video, hit that like button if you haven't subscribed. Think about subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people like you who like content like this. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.